Can I ask you, you mentioned that the polling's now showing that number one concerns immigration and then illegal immigration and then the economy. I notice you didn't mention the environment and net zero. Britain's allowed to ask the question again now, is net zero 2050 feasible, and can you do it without smashing the economy? Are you allowed to ask that question yet in Britain?
I think we are certainly allowed to ask it, and I think the net zero consensus is starting to break down. We have two, big parties on the right, the Reform Party, and then the Conservatives, who are both net zero skeptics now, are basically questioning everything to do with net zero and the targets. And I think voters are catching up. The old saying was that you couldn't really contest net zero because it was a valence issue, meaning that 70-80% of people, even if they didn't quite understand what net zero was all about, they just thought, oh, this is good for the environment, I'll go along with it. I don't think that is really true anymore. People are very anxious about their energy bills, some of the highest energy bills in the world here in the UK. People are very, I think, skeptical about some of the energy projects that are happening around them. People are very concerned about the influence of China in our energy markets. And I think they're beginning to revisit net zero and think, well, actually, this isn't everything that I thought it was about. So I think increasingly net zero is going to be pulled into mainstream politics as a point of debate. It isn't there yet. As I say, the dominant issues here remain migration and the cost of living crisis. But to go back to Nigel Farage, if reform can link the cost of living crisis, not just with taxation, not just with a broken model of mass migration, and not just with regulation, if they can link the cost of living crisis with net zero, if they can open that up, then I think that issue will become enormous, potentially as big as Brexit in the years ahead. I think people will really begin to question, the lunacy of closing down our steel factories, closing down our coal factories, importing coal from overseas at twice the price, smashing our already deindustrialized communities in the north even more by this insane net zero obsession. And I think people will start to question it, but it will take time. And we're not there yet. But the bigger reform gets, the bigger that debate will become.